Good morning, everyone. So let's start today's editorial. Before that, we have thought of the day, where we will gonna learn 8 powerful words. First one is believe in yourself. Uh, Believe in yourself. Second is stay strong. Third one is never give up. Fourth, be grateful. 5, work hard. 6, stay humble. 7, be kind. And 8, keep smiling. So yeah, these all 8 words are really very necessary to everyone. Why? Because if we believe on us, then only we can do something, whatever we want in our life. And if we have to achieve any dream, then we need to be strong. Then third one is we shouldn't give up anymore. We should be grateful. Whatever we have, we should be grateful to that. A little progress never adds up to big results. So if we'll never give up, and if we do at least little in a day, then it will adds up to big result. So at least we need to be consistent every day, like little. If we add little, then also we can achieve something big. If I have to give one example, sometimes what happen, we for student I'm telling, if we are not studying anymore for 1 week and all, after that we don't have any interest for study. But at least if we study for 1 hour in a day and consistently for 7 days, then that consistency will be there. So consistency is important. We shouldn't be give up anymore. And be grateful. Whatever we are having, we should be grateful to that. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. If our heart is grateful, then we can attract the miracles towards ourselves. We should be grateful that we can able to breathe. We can take food whenever we feel hungry. We can take food. That's also a good thing, because we have seen many people who are in the ICUs, who want to eat food but they cannot. So yeah, we should be grateful for everything we have, even it's a little thing. Work hard. Yeah, we definitely need to work hard if we want good things in our life. Stay humble. Work hard in silence. Let success make the noise. We already aware of this. Be kind. We need to be kind all the time. Kindness makes you the most beautiful. Kindness is really amazing. If we have this one, we feel that already. After that, keep smiling. Because of your smile, you make the life more beautiful. If someone will see that you are smiling, that person also smiles. So spreading the smile, spreading the good vibe, it's really amazing. So this is all about today's thought, and let's start today's session. Okay. Uh, Boxed in. So what boxed in means, if we have to put something in a box, then we can say that boxed in. Like this is a thing, we need to put it in the box, then we can say it's boxed in. On need for inflation control as top policy priority, as high prices restrain consumption, inflation control must be the top policy priority. So what inflation means? Inflation means the increase in the prices of things or items. So we need to control the inflation, and on need for inflation control as top policy priority, because as high prices restrain consumption. Restrain consumption means people are consuming less nowadays. Why? Because the price is quite high. If the item price is high and people are not able to afford that, then how can they buy that, right? So what because of this thing, consumption reduce. And so one of the most important thing we can do is like inflation control, controlling the price, controlling the high price. Inflation means increase the price of items. So we need to control the high price, must be the top policy priority. So it's policy priority. Why in this uh, line policy use here? Because it's related to the central bank, RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So if we have to control the inflation, and because of this reason people uh, consume less, so the most priority policy is related to the control of inflation. So this is about today's editorial. So let's learn what is there in the passages. October 3, 2022. Governor of Reserve Bank of India. He is the government of Governor of Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so let's start. The Reserve Bank of India rate decision on Friday was ultimately inevitable. So ultimately means finally, and uh, inevitable means that cannot be avoided. That try to remember this vocab. Inevitable means that can't be avoided. So the Reserve Bank of India's rate decision on Friday is really important. Monetary policymakers were left with little choice but to raise interest rate by 50 basis points. 50 basis points. 50 basis points mean 0.5%. See, the monetary policy makers of RBI were left with little choice, but they had to raise interest by 50 basis points. That means the monetary policy makers of Reserve Bank of India (RBI) increase the basis point, the interest by 0.5%. Okay. So we can say that the RBI increased the repo rate. And what is the meaning of repo rate? We need to have some idea about it. Why they increase the interest? See, what RBI do? RBI give loan to other banks, and whenever they have to give loan to other banks, there are some percent like 4% interest are there. But nowadays it become 5.9%. Why? Because they are increasing the interest. And why they need to increase the uh, um, interest or repo rate? Because why they need to increase the repo rate? Because there are some issues. Okay. Why there are some issues? Uh, because the price is high. First condition is like because of pandemic. Because of pandemic. Then second is uh, Russia invade because of Russia invasion on Ukraine. Russia invade Ukraine. This is the second point. And one third point is there we will learn today in this editorial. So because of these reasons, the RBI have to increase the interest by 0.5%, which is not a good news. And let me tell briefly about repo rate. Repo rate is the rate at which the central bank of a country, in India, the central bank is Reserve Bank of India, lends money to commercial banks in the event of any shortfall of funds. So repo rate means whenever RBI have to give lends money to other commercial banks in the event of any shortfall or funds, and the increase of 0.5% in repo rate will lead to higher interest rates on loans for borrowers. So if the interest will high, so the interest will high, and this also implies that the EMIs means equated monthly installments for repaying the existing loan will increase going forward. So if someone taking loan, they need to pay high interest. Okay, so yeah, as a bout of extreme volatility in international financial markets combines with persistently high domestic retail inflation to threaten macroeconomic stability globally and in India. Okay, so what bout means? Bout, we can say, is a spell or period of activity. Bout means, yeah, B-O-U-T, bout. It's an important vocab. It's a noun and it means period of activity. Period of activity. See, as a bout of extreme volatility in international financial markets, there's uh, extreme volatility in international financial markets combined with persistently high domestic retail inflation. Persistently means continuously. Here, persistently means continuously. And volatility. What volatility means? We can say like see, whenever we listen any music, what happens? Sometimes it's in up, sometimes it's down, up, down, something like that. These things. So we can say it's like volatility. Sometimes up, sometimes down. So like sudden up down. It means volatility. Okay. So as a bout of extreme volatility in international financial markets combines with continuously high domestic retail inflation. That means continuously prices high to threaten macroeconomic stability, which threaten macroeconomic stability, which globally and in India also, like which destroy, you can say, the macroeconomic stability in globally and in India. Okay, let's go to the next para now. RBI Governor Saktikant Das cited the aggressive monetary policy action and even more aggressive communication from advanced economy central banks as a third shock following the pandemic and Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which he said had thrust the global economy in the eye of a new storm. Okay, so as I already mentioned, first thing which affect badly in the economy is pandemic, the COVID-19. Then the next one, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Invention, if you guys not aware of this word, that it means attack. Invention means attack. We are aware of this, like COVID-19, Russia's invention, but there's a third thing, third stock, which is like uh, mentioned by Saktikant Das, who is the RBI governor. Saktikant Das, which pic is there in above, which we have already visited. RBI governor Saktikant Das cited cited that the aggressive monetary policy action and even more aggressive communication from advanced economy central banks is a third shock. The advanced cited means mentioned, we can say. He mentioned that because of those aggressive monetary policy action and aggressive communication from of advanced economy, there are some advanced economy and there are some developing country. We know that. So those advanced country which is already developed, because of their economy, because of their aggressive monetary policy actions, uh, we need to suffer a lot. Who? I mean the developing countries, because they don't have that much of money. Developing countries have to suffer a lot. Okay, so first thing is pandemic, second thing is Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and third is this aggressive monetary policy actions from advanced economy. This is the third thing, which he said had thrust the global economy into the eye of new storm. And because of these three reasons, the global economy into the eye of new storm. So into the eye of new storm, it's a phrase. We need to learn this. It means, okay, in the eye of a new storm, which means in the middle of a difficult, in the middle of a difficult situation. Okay, global economy in the eye of a new storm, which means in the middle of a difficult situation. Okay, so let's go to the next para now. Yeah, because of these three reasons, our economy will be in more difficult situation. Okay, so yeah, emerging market economics in particular are confronted with challenges. Confronted means faced. That means faced more challenges of slowing global growth. And because of this emerging of market economics, we have to face a lot of challenges which slow the global growth. Elevated food and energy prices. Elevated means increase. Increase the prices of food and energy. Spillovers from advanced economy policy normalization, and because of this advanced economy policy normalization, which I already mentioned, there are some spillovers. It means impact, bad impact, and sharp currency depreciation, and the value of currency deprived. Depreciation means decrease. Mr. thus explained, elaborating on the external challenges confronting, that means faced, emerging economics, including India. So the emerging economy, that means the developing country, had to suffer a lot, like challenges, global growth decrease, and the food price increase, energy prices increase, and the impact from advanced economy policy normalization. Because of those advanced economy policy normalization, there is some sub currency depreciation, as we have learned that in the previous editorial also, like the value of rupee is decreased 7% compared to the dollar. Okay, so see, if before one $70 equal to, sorry, yeah, $70 equal to, sorry, what I'm doing, $1 equal to 70 rupee
80.
before. Yeah, nowadays it's $1 equals to about to be 80. So see, if the price increase like this, then what happened? The import, if we have buy something before with 70 rupee, now we have to buy that at 80 rupee. So the price is high. So import price will high. And if the imports will high, imports, sorry, imports price will high, then it will affect badly on the economy of emerging countries or developing countries. Okay, so let's go to the next para. Yeah. Okay, the rupee too has been under pressure. That means the currency of India has been in under pressure, weakening by more than 7% against the dollar since the start of the current fiscal year in April. So, the rupee weakening by more than 7% against the dollar since the start of the current fiscal year in April. So, its depreciation is more like the rupees. It's depreciated by 7% against dollar since the start of fiscal year. So, anyone who would like to tell me the meaning of fiscal year? Fiscal year?
Financial year, that is starts from 1st of April to 31st of March in India.
Yes, absolutely correct. In Hindi, we know it's like Vittiya Varsh. Fiscal
Yeah.
year is a period of 12 months over which the accounts and taxes of company or person are calculated. So what we came to know that the value of rupee decreased 7% against the dollar. So, okay, and this has added upward pressure to price stability by way of what is happening today? And this had added upward pressure to price stability by way of imported inflation. And because of these things, what happened? As I already mentioned, imported inflation happened. That means import price will high. And if import price will high, it will affect the economy. Pressure to price stability. The RBI September issue of the monetary policy report, in fact, pertinently observed that the second round effect of low growth and high inflation globally could keep domestic inflation at elevated levels even beyond 8 quarters, necessitating appropriate monetary actions to anchor inflation expectations. So, here what we have learned that the RBI September issue of the monetary policy report, in fact, pertinently observed that the second round effect of low growth and high inflation. That means growth is less and the price of the items is high. Globally, could domestic inflation at elevated, increased levels even beyond 8 quarters, necessitating appropriate monetary action to anchor inflation expectation. So we need some necessary appropriate action to anchor this and inflation expectations. Okay. Yeah, here we are having some chart, growth of real GDP and real GVA, and growth in real GVA at basis prices. Okay. The central bank's own projection, in fact, do not anticipate a slowing in India's retail inflation below its upper tolerance threshold of 6% till the January-March quarter. So see what author mentioned here, that the central bank's own projection, in fact, do not anticipate a slowing in India's retail inflation below its upper tolerance. So its upper tolerance threshold is 6%, which will be there till January, March, and quarter. What RBI mentioned that it can easily manage if the tolerance is around 4%, if the interest is 4% and 2%, then also 2%, 4% is also fine. But if it's 6%, then it's quite difficult for RBI to manage that much. Okay, and what that threshold means? Threshold means is threshold means the level the level at which at which something starts to happen. So threshold is like this is a threshold, and here this is the level at which something start to happen. So it's known as, this thing is known as threshold. So threshold of 6% till the January, March and quarter. And Mr. Das was right to point out the multiple factors that could upend the RBI's inflation outlook. And he mentioned some point. He was right to point out the multiple factors that could upend the RBI's inflation outlook. Okay, so let's go to the next para. Okay, the surfeit of liquidity. Surfeit means excess of liquidity or cash. If excess of cash in the banking system, which is expected to be borrowed by enhanced government spending in the coming months, could also threaten price stability, and the RBI governor was at pains to note that the policy stance of a calibrated withdrawal of accommodation had become an imperative. So, if the excess of cash in the banking system, which is expected to be borrowed by enhanced government spending in the coming months, could also threaten price stability, which also threaten price stability. If RBI will give a lot of cash to the banking system, what happened? This will also threaten the price stability, and because of this, RBI governor was at pains to note that he felt RBI governor Mr. Das felt pained to note that the policy stance of calibrated withdrawal of accommodation had become an imperative. So he need to withdraw those accommodation because it will, if the cash increase in the banking system, what will happen? If cash increase but item is less, cash is more, item is less, then what happen? Then obviously the price will increase. So that's the only reason RBI governor mentioned that he will withdraw of he will withdrawal of accommodation had become an imperative. Okay, so let's go to the next para. Specifically, he pointed out that even as the nominal policy repo rate had been raised by 190 basis points since May, the rate adjusted for inflation still trailed the 2019 levels, with the RBI's latest surveys of household inflation expectations and consumer confidence to signaling that price pressure will continue to restrain consumption. Inflation control will have to remain the top policy priority. See, specifically what he pointed out that even as the nominal policy repo rate had been raised by 190 basis points since May, the repo rate, what is repo rate, which I already mentioned,
At the rate
whenever I,
which where central bank gives loan to the lends money to the commercial banks.
yes,
Is it
absolutely
like that?
correct. Yeah, absolutely correct. Whenever RBI have to give lends loan to the commercial banks, then it's known as repo rate, and which had been increased by 190 basis point already. Just imagine 190 basis point already increased since May, and the rate adjusted for inflation still trailed the 2019 levels. With the RBI's latest surveys of household inflation expectation and consumer confidence to signaling that price pressure will continue to restrain consumption. See, consumption. If price pressure will increase, then what happens? Consumption will restrain, that means consumption will decrease, because if the
Yeah.
price is so high, people cannot afford that, right? So consumption will decrease. Inflation control will have to remain that top policy priority. So the top policy priority is that we need to control the inflation. That means we need to control the price of things and all. Okay. Oh, it's end here. Did I miss some lines? When I read, okay, yeah, maybe I missed this para. Oh, sorry for that. Okay, this includes the likelihood of higher pass-through of input cost by service providers on increased demand. See, the providers who, the service providers, if they have to buy something, what they need to buy it, if they have to buy something from foreign countries, then import rates is already high. Okay, so if they have to provide any service to us, then we also need to pay more, as well as upside risk to food prices from both the lower kharif output of rice and pulses. And why food prices increase? Because the lower kharif output. This year the kharif output is low. Kharif means the rice and pulses. Okay, and the unseasonably excess spells of rainfall in some regions. And in some region, what happened? Rainfall is excess, and because of this, flood happened, and that have pushed up the prices of vegetables. And because of over excess of rainfall and all, the vegetables, the rice, the pulses are less. Okay, so because of this reason, prices is increased. So yeah, this is all about today's editorial. So who would like to tell us about tone of editorial? Anyone?
Okay.
Just put
The
your
pri
views.
Okay, what I
Okay.
have got from the editorial is the inflation is rising. So for that, RBI should, I mean, Shaktikant Das is talking about controlling the prices. I mean the high prices. So he wants to control the inflation and somehow by managing monetary policy. But RBI had raised the repo rate, so I think they should manage repo rate first to control inflation.
Yeah, and why repo rate is high? Because of those advanced economy. Okay, if we have
Yeah.
to work globally, then if those advanced economy, policy normalization, if they increase their part, then we also have to increase our, and which these are some reasons why we have to suffer a lot. And the rupee value
Mm.
already decreased badly, and because of that, imports is quite tough. Okay, and
Yeah.
what about that tone of editorial? Whatever you mentioned, it's totally correct, and that's really nice. So, would you like to tell about the tone? I think it's suggestive. Why it's suggestive? Like author tried to suggest here that because of high inflation, consumption decrease. So we need to, RBI need to think on inflation control. So author try to suggest that the main top policy priority should be the control of inflation. So it could be suggestive, and we'll get a lot of information also. So yeah, he is the government of Reserve Bank of India. So is there any question? Is there any question? Anyone? Okay, so let me end the session here. Thank you so much for watching,
Thank you, ma'am.
and okay, it's fine. Hey, no need to call me ma'am. I'm here. I mean, I'm like you also. I also try to read that and try to have some idea and try to explain here. And do you know the benefit of explaining the things here? I will not forget it anymore. I mean, I
Yeah.
remember all the PDF, all the editorial which session which I take till now, and I'm really glad that I remember most of them, and all are related, right? All are related,
Yeah.
so it's helpful. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot for
You did it
participating.
so
And
nice.
okay, thank you so much. And one more thing, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. We will upload
Hmm.
this in the YouTube as well. So if you leave any point, you can watch there. Okay. Thank you so much.
I have already done subscribe.
Okay.